Okay, so this is Joshua. I am a tab member part of the library. I'll be teaching you how to make the origami heart for Valentine's Day. So, started already doing a couple creases just to make it easier for demonstration reasons. So what you're gonna wanna do first is take this top right corner, fold it down, of course, to this bottom section here. And of course, this crease won't be here, so you won't be able to see it properly, but as long as you fold it over and you line it up with the edge to edge, get this corner nice and sharp. And that way you get this triangle base like. And then at this point, you can just crease the back fold. This back fold can be creased, flattened out. And then you'll get, I guess, this triangle cut, this triangle piece flap right here. The next step will be removing the excess paper from the printing paper. If you are using printing paper or college rule, wide rule paper, line paper, unless you already have a square origami piece of paper or other square forms of paper. So you're gonna wanna fold this over again, crease it, and you wanna remove this excess. Now you can use scissors. I don't use scissors because I find it a little extra to have scissors on you at all times if you were to do this in other places. So what I like to do is just fold it back. When you fold it back, you'll be lining it up with the triangle on the front end. The triangle on the front end. You just line it up with that same edge. And that way you kind of get this piece kind of removed or cut off, right? And once folded, you can just open it and then go back and forth. Fold it on the front end, fold it back on the back. You know, you do this a couple times, 3, 4, 5 times. Just make sure the piece is really solidified, withered down essentially. And then if you start peeling it just slightly right on the edge, it should be pretty easy. What I like to do is take my right hand or left-handed, depending on which way you're facing, but for this video, my right hand onto this corner. After already ripping a tiny piece, my left hand on the other side, right next to it, and just slightly spread and pull. And just keep going down. All right, that's essentially what the creasing was for. When you kept creasing it, you withered down the paper, causing it to be easier to rip. You get all the way to the bottom. This piece right here, garbage, unless you want to, use it, fold another square out of it, make something smaller. But for the most part, you're not going to need this for this origami heart, so let's remove that. Now you have a square. A square piece from a printing paper, pretty simple. You got one crease down the middle, which is this line. Kind of important, not really. And of course the edges aren't perfect. I still got like little pieces hanging. I don't know if you can see, but just little pieces hanging across and all over. So yeah, pretty simple. Just making it into a square. That's part one. Just making it into a simple square. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold an X into it, which we already have one piece of it. We have this one fold down the middle of the triangle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do it the same way but perpendicular. So we're just gonna fold it down, basically on the line itself. And that way, corner to corner, make sure it's edge to edge. Once it's edge to edge, it's pretty simple and pretty solid work. Here we go, flatten, flatten, flatten. And then you just get one hard crease. It's one hard crease down. All right, and just go over and make sure all the edges are nice and creased. Now we got this this X fold, causing our square to kind of form like 4 small triangles. And this is gonna help it a lot easier when doing the folds later to actually make the heart. So now what you're gonna wanna do is, you're gonna wanna fold this hot dog and hamburger style, making another X, but along the outer edges axis. So instead of from corner to corner, you're gonna do side to side, making it kind of like a rectangle. You're just gonna wanna fold and crease, fold and crease, fold and crease. There we go. One side, open it, and then do it the perpendicular way, fold it downwards. Line up the corners, line up the edges. There we go. Get a hard, solid crease on this. And of course, like I said, the closer you get to the edges, the better, because, you know, the sleeker it looks and the, you know, the sharper it looks, but you don't have to be perfect, you know. It's the thought that counts. So you can have your impurities. Once you have it like this, and we can see the 4 original triangles we had turned into 2 more triangles, making 8 triangle faces on the front out of our square. Now, what you're gonna do is flip it over on the back, on the end with no folds, essentially, just the creases. And then what you're gonna do is, I like to fold the rip part, just so we don't see the rip part later, but you can do any side, essentially. You can do any side you want, or would like. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna fold this top edge down to the center. So you're gonna cut it in 4ths, basically now. So I'm gonna fold one edge down. There we go. Hard creases all the way. There we go. And make sure you line it up with the center, which will have like essentially a dot now with all the folds that we had before and all the creases. So this is gonna set up and be the first part of our heart. So if you were to look and just do a little recap, we ripped off the edge of the paper that we do not need the excess because we want it to be a square. Then we made folds, hamburger, hot dog, and diagonally, so we can get these nice creases down on the paper. From there, we flipped it, and we folded one edge to the center. From here, we're gonna flip it back over to the side with the creases and the folds. Sides with the solid folds, diagonal folds. You're gonna pull one corner, the top corner, and it's the corner that's thicker too because of the folded back piece. So after folding the top piece back, it will be on the top half. That's where you want to be, the top half. You're gonna fold the corner down. What we're gonna do is kind of like making a paper plane. You want one corner all the way down, hard fold. You're gonna do the same thing with the other side. Take the other corner, fold it up or down, and get a hard crease. And essentially you're gonna have like the beginnings of a paper plane model with this heart. And then once you get this triangle with this bottom square piece, from here, you're gonna flip it back over, back to the side that you flipped downwards and without the folds, opposite of the folds. All right, because you flip this piece, you flip this flap down, folded it over on the other side, and now you're back to this side. What you're gonna wanna do with this is now fold these long pieces on the side, not this whole long one, these 2 smaller ones, I guess, that are straight and not diagonal. You're gonna fold this to the center, down the center line. And by doing this, you're gonna kind of make this tiny little box piece in here, and you're gonna fold on these triangles too. There we go. Do the same thing with the other side. And then you're gonna get like a little house. You're gonna get a square and a triangle on top. From here, you're gonna wanna fold these two square pieces down here, and you're gonna notice that it's gonna already have kind of like a crease from one of our previous creases, and it's gonna make it easier to fold down. These triangle corners are gonna be able to fold down much easier now with these previous creases. There we go, there we go. There, you're gonna get two triangle sides, one rectangular middle. You're gonna have two flaps, and just one kind of solid with one hole. From here, if you were to have the two flap pieces, oh, sorry for kicking the phone. If you were to have the two flap pieces, fold in half, go from triangle tip to triangle tip. Now, you don't want to crease on this hard top part because you're going to need to use these folds later, so you don't want to fully crease. Well, I guess you want to do it on the top layer. What you're going to do is you're going to open the flap that you made after folding it in half. You're going to see like these two flaps. What you want to do is actually on the inner piece, crease it. Leaving this top piece not creased, not folded down, but open. Do it to both sides. There we go. And then from here, we're gonna fold this flap. We're gonna push down on it. By doing so, you're gonna get like this triangle piece. You're gonna get this little flat part on the other end. So what we're gonna do is do it to both sides. There we go. Now you're gonna fold it over. You can already see the makings of the heart, just a little bit. You can already tell that this is the bottom piece. Right here, the heart, little point. Here's the arc in the middle. I guess a triangle. And now we just gotta fix the sides up a little bit. What you're gonna do is then fold this corner in. Same thing with this one right here. So as we saw before, got this little edge. Just gonna fold it in. Same thing with the other side. And then what you're gonna wanna do is fold these two top pieces backwards. Fold them down. Now what this does is, you're not gonna get your round edge like a heart because this is paper, so you will have, sharper edges. What this does is kind of just brings it down a little, not so pointy, like fox ears. But this way it's more down, nice, clean, makes it look like it's almost roundish, not really, but gives you that same effect with the heart. Then you're gonna fold the other piece down, and then you're gonna have your heart. Essentially, that's all it is. What I like to do after this though, is kind of open it back up in half. And before I showed you that there was a flap, kind of like a pocket that opens up. What you're gonna do is take the top part and just put it in that flap. This happens to be an easier way to show flaps. So now you don't have essentially two pieces that hang, but you have one heart. And it's a pretty solid piece. And there you go. You have an origami heart. Not too difficult, not too much. But this is how you do the origami heart for Valentine's Day. Thank you for watching.